Welcome to Blog Smart with AI, and I am so glad you're here, and I can't wait to talk to you about automation. And so for those of you that don't know me, I'm Andrea, and I've been using ChatGPT for, over 2 years now to help me in my business. And it's definitely come a long way from when it was first released. And there are so many things you can do now that you couldn't do before. And I don't know about you guys, but if you're like me, I don't have an assistant or anybody helping me out in my business. And so setting up systems and automations is especially helpful. And ChatGPT is really great for that. And also Claude too. And so I've been experimenting with this for a few months now with different aspects of my business, and it has made a huge difference in the time it takes me to do things. So today I'm just going to focus on how you can use it for your blog. So the goal of the workshop is to show you different ways you can use AI to automate your blog writing process, from simple file uploads to complete workflow automation. Before you set up your automation, you need what I call the blog foundation. And for those of you that attended my Blogging Made Easy workshop I did a few months ago, you'll remember I went over the key decisions you need to make before starting a blog. And so these key details are essential when using AI to write blog posts for you. And so in order for the AI to understand what you want, it needs certain information. For example, your blog details. This helps the AI understand what it's writing about and why. For example, you'd want to provide it with details about the goal of your blog, the topic or niche your blog focuses on, even different information about your company or your brand. Next is a customer avatar or reader profile. Now, this helps the AI understand who it's writing for. So you would want to provide the AI with information about who reads your blog, what they want to learn, and what problems they're trying to solve. Next is content structure. Now, this helps the AI know how to organize and format your blog posts. And you can provide the AI with examples of your blog post showing your preferred structure, or provide a summary of how you want your posts organized, or even both, because it can help the AI to better understand and match your style. And then finally, there's brand voice. Now, this helps the AI match your writing style. And you can provide it with 2 to 3 of your best blog posts as examples of your writing style, or you can even create a style guide with your tone, preferred language, and writing rules, including words you don't want it to use. You can also provide it with both, but I will say there's kind of a happy medium, providing too little and too much. So you really need to experiment with this on when you do it to see what works for you. And so having these details ready before you start is going to save you time and help you get better quality content from the AI. And so think of it as creating a blueprint for your blog that the AI can follow. And this is something that you would also do if you were to hire somebody. You would want to give them all of these details in order to write blog posts for you that sound like you. All right, so let's get to the fun stuff. So we are going to talk about just different ways to automate your blog writing. And I'm going to start with a super simple method. This is just attaching files to your conversation. And this is really as simple as it gets. You can just attach your foundation documents to your conversation with ChatGPT or Claude each time you write your post. And so let me go to ChatGPT. And so what you would do when you're writing your post, before writing your post actually, is you would want to click here to upload a document. And then you would choose whether you want to connect to Google Drive, Microsoft OneDrive, or even upload from your computer. And I did this in advance. This is one of the files that I uploaded about my blog. Just so you know, this file right here contains details about my blog, the goal of my blog, my reader profile, and just different information about the structure and brand voice. So I put everything in this one document. So you don't have to have separate documents for each. And then what I can also do is upload documents, sample writing documents if I want. Now, the key to using this upload feature is you need to let ChatGPT know that you uploaded these documents and that it should reference them. Because if you don't, it's not going to automatically reference the documents. I won't say it won't. Sometimes it will, sometimes it won't, but ChatGPT is unpredictable. I don't know if you guys have noticed that. Sometimes it does something one way and then another way. And so I'm cautious with ChatGPT and try to let it know that I've uploaded files and what the files are for. So I would have to have an extensive prompt here letting the AI know to take on a persona to write my blog and to review the attached files for information about my blog when writing the blog post. Kind of like if you were hiring somebody, you wouldn't just hand them files and say, write me a blog post. You would let them know that what's in the files, and what to do. I'm going to talk about the pros of doing it this way. Now, the first is there's really no setup required. You can start right away, but you do need to write a prompt. And it's simple to understand, and it's pretty easy to use, and it's great for getting started also. And you can use it for ChatGPT and Claude. Now, the cons of doing it this way is that you need to attach files every time you start a new conversation. The AI can forget details from your files during longer conversations. So if you have a conversation that goes on for a period of time, I don't know about you, but sometimes the ChatGPT will forget what we're talking about, and I'll have to remind it of the file, or I'll have to re-upload the file. And then you also may need to remind it about specific details from your files. I've had to do that before. If it doesn't write something correctly, I'll have to say, remember in my file, I told you this. And so it's a good method if you're just getting started and you only write blog posts occasionally. The next method is a little bit more advanced, and this is projects. Now, it's still pretty simple, and even if you're not tech savvy, creating a project is a pretty straightforward process. And projects are available in ChatGPT and Claude. And I'm going to show you my project here. I have this project is called the Carnivore Blog Writer. I have a couple project files in here that I attached. You can see them here. I have my avatar, and then I have my blog details. And if you attach a file and you say you don't want it in there, you just click this X here. You can click here to add more files. And then, of course, you have instructions. You want to write out instructions about what it's supposed to do, you want to make sure you remind it to access the files you attached. And the thing I love about projects is all of your chats are in one place here. So you can see all of the chats for this project underneath it. So anytime I create a new chat, I'm going to say, write a blog post. So it's just going to write a blog post I'm going to put an answer in chat, that is tailored to my Simply Carnivore. I have it instructed to view the files and all the information in it. And I also have all the instructions for how I want it formatted, what I want in the introduction, for the steps. So it just picked a random topic for me when I said write a blog post. I could have said write a blog post about X. And so it's actually pretty good. Well, so if you noticed in my files that I had, I didn't provide it with writing samples. But based on just my writing guide that I provided it's actually doing a really good job. The pros for creating a project is the foundation details stay accessible across all conversations. So I can start multiple conversations, and it's always going to use the instructions that I put. Let me show you. So it's always going to use the instructions and the project files. And then if you notice how it added the conversation here, which is really nice. If you use this for your blog, imagine you can have this super organized. So anytime you write a blog post, you're going to have all of these projects or blog posts written here so you can refer back to them really quickly. The next is there's no need to repeatedly upload files. You just need to upload them the one time. And you can create multiple conversations within the same project. Now, the cons are it does take some time to set up. You need to write clear instructions for it to follow. And the accuracy of it really depends on the instructions that you give it. And you can't connect it to other tools or share the project with anybody, at least for now. And so projects are ideal if you're writing blog posts regularly and want like a more streamlined process without dealing with more complex automation tools. So the next level of automation is creating a custom GPT. This is similar to projects, but a custom GPT is like creating your own specialized version of ChatGPT with your blog's foundation details built in. It's more like having a custom tool specifically designed for blog writing. And so here I have my Carnivore Blog Writer, and I have it programmed. I don't like really that word, but I have it instructions. So when I click on Get Started, it's to give me 5 blog post ideas. And it's supposed to tell me about the idea, why it's valuable. And after it gives me 5 ideas, then I'm going to pick an idea of what I want. And then it's going to automatically write the blog post for me. I know it's a little bit slow. I'm talking faster than it can go. So you can give your custom GP different instructions. It's really up to you what you tell it to do. It says, which one would you like to go with? And I'm just going to say just number 1. So I set this up super automated, so it just does the whole process for me. And so this is using my structure that I supply it. So again, with the GPT, I've had to upload files. They're called knowledge files. Similar to what I did for the project. And then I have to also give it instructions. And I gave this a little bit different instructions than I gave the project, only because I want it to do steps for me. Like step 1, give me 5 ideas for blog posts, and then write the blog post. And then it has my final thoughts. And then it says, would you like any tweaks before finalizing? And then what I have it do is I have it save it to a Google Doc for me. Last few times I've done this, it's taken like 3 or 4 minutes. So I know you guys don't want to sit and watch and wait for it, but let's take a quick, I'll show you the GPT here. So I just have the name. I know this picture is a little bit much. I did it through Dolly and I just went with it. And I have my instructions here. I have my knowledge files, and then under actions, see I have an action set up, and I can click on my action. It's a hook. Now I have this set up with make.com, and it connects to Make, and it will post to Google Docs. So I'll show you what I had to set up. So this is make.com. I had to add a webhook, hook it up to ChatGPT. It's not super advanced, but it's a little bit more work, or technical, I should say. And yes, it is similar to Zapier. Oh, here we go. So this says the Carnivore blog writer wants to talk to my hook, and I just confirm it. It makes me confirm that I want to actually create the Google Doc. And then it says it's been successfully saved to my Google Docs. And then let me go here. I'm going to go to Safari here. And so here is the carnivore diet for beginners here, 11:21 a.m. And here's my blog post. It's not formatted super, super great. I know I have to work on that. That was my instructions to the AI. This is my fault why it's not formatted better. So that's one advantage to the custom GPTs. And so let's talk about the pros and cons. So one of the pros is your instructions and files stay accessible across conversations. You can share it with others. For example, if you were to hire someone to write blog posts for you, say you have an assistant and you want them to use your GPT to write blog posts for you, you can just share the GPT with them through a link. And then, as you see, when they write the blog post, it'll go directly to your Google Docs account. And it can integrate with other tools like I showed you. And then the cons are that it does take some time to set up properly, and you need to write clear instructions for the AI to follow. And it may take a few tries to make sure it responds the way you want. The conversations aren't organized separately, like in a project. And so custom GPTs are great if you need more customization than projects, but don't want to set up a full automation with external tools. And so the last method we're going to talk about is the make.com or Zapier. And this is just what I'm going to show you is a very simple example of what is possible. And so the main thing I want to show you is that you can automate your whole blog writing process. And you can get more fancy than this. This is just super simple. You can have it, for this I have it posting to Google Docs, but you can have it post directly into WordPress instead. And you can use Airtable instead of Google Sheets. So this is just really a basic demo I'm going to show you of what I did. So here's how I set it up. I have a Google Sheet, my first Google Sheet here, and this is what my Google Sheet looks like. I'm going to list blog posts here on this sheet. And then what it's telling it is that when there's a new row, that it needs to get my blog details and then get my prompt, load that into ChatGPT, write the blog post, and then put it into Google Docs, and then put back into the document that it's completed. So I'm just going to show you, we'll take this one step at a time because I know I went through that really fast. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on choose where to start. So I'm just going to pick one. So you can have this set up to where you run it yourself. You can have it check every morning. So if you want every morning for your automation to check, you can do that. Instead of doing it that way, I just have it, I'm like a control person, so I'm just going to control how it does it. But let's pick the 3 quick, easy carnivore meals for busy professionals. And I'm going to click save, and then I'm going to run it. Now watch how it runs. It's getting the blog details. This is the document that I also uploaded for my project and the Custom GPT. It's getting the prompt that I wrote. Now I put the prompt in Google Documents. And the reason I did that is because if I want to change it or anything, all I have to do is go into Google Documents and change the prompt. And then here it goes to ChatGPT. And so when you set up ChatGPT, you would put in a reference. Hold on, it's coming up. It takes a few minutes here. You have to, one thing I will tell you is you need an API key. So you need to go into OpenAI and get your API key. And so if you look here, I have my, my prompt here. This is my prompt. I set up a variable for the prompt just for programming reasons. You don't have to do it that way. But this is the prompt. And then I have my style guide here. And then here I have my blog title. So this is from the sheet, Google Sheet here. It pulls in the blog title from the row. And then what it does is it puts it in a Google document, and then it tells the sheet that it's complete. So let's see, you never know with tech, right? All right, here we go. Oh, yay, it worked. All right, so here is where it's completed. So I told it to put in that it's completed and then to put in the date. So it did exactly what I told it to do, which is really cool. And then here we go. Here's my post. I have it say it says post in front of it, so I know which one it writes. And then this is 3 quick, easy carnivore meals for busy professionals. And then it has all of my meals here. I had it formatted in HTML so that I can just quickly copy and paste it into WordPress. And like I said, if you don't want to put it in Google Docs, you can have it put it into WordPress. But that's pretty fancy, right? That you can do like that so quickly. And then, as I said, you can have this set up so it checks every morning, and it'll check for new rows, and it will just automatically put the blog post in your Google Docs or WordPress if you want. And so it's actually super cool, and it's fun to do. I will tell you that it did take me a little while to get it working exactly the way I wanted and everything formatting the way I wanted. So it does take some time, patience. It's not that difficult that it's not something you can do. And so the pros of doing it this way is that it can automate your entire blogging workflow. And it gives you the ability to connect multiple tools together. You can trigger actions automatically based on schedules or events, however you set it up. The one thing is it's more time consuming and complex to set up. It does take time to test and troubleshoot it to make sure everything's working correctly. And like I said before, you do need an API key to make it work from ChatGPT. But I just want to do a quick summary of what we covered. So you can attach a file. With this method, it's perfect if you're just getting started with AI or if you only want to write blog posts occasionally. Next is projects, and this method is ideal if you're writing blog posts regularly and want a more streamlined process without dealing with more complex tools. Custom GPTs. Now, this is great if you want more customization than projects, but you don't want to set up a full automation. And then finally, we have Make and Zapier. And this method is good when you're ready to automate your entire blogging process and are comfortable with more technical tools. Now, you can do exactly what I showed you in Make in Zapier, so you can do them interchangeably. And before you go, I just want to thank you so much for joining me today. This workshop was so much fun, at least for me. I hope you got some value from it. And let me know what automation you're going to try. I'm curious to hear. Talk to you later.